Hey guys, welcome back to another Objective-C tutorial where we're going to be going over the continuous statement. And it's similar to the break statement that we just did in the previous tutorial, but it's a little bit different. And so what we're going to do is use similar concepts to what we did in the last tutorial where we had these hackers coming in. They were hitting our site and we were kind of monitoring our site until the hits reached a certain amount of hits, and then we'd send basically all their information to Anonymous and they would tackle them and take down whoever it was for us. Which, Anonymous, a lot of respect for how you guys do what you do, because I don't know how you do it. Anyways, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to start out with a basic integer. We're going to set this integer as hits, which is going to be our variable that starts at 0. Now this hits, I'll explain what it is a little bit later. So we're just going to go through developing a basic for loop. And as you put in your for, you'll see we have three basic fields that we have to enter. We've got our initialization, so what are we going to set this to start? So we're going to create an integer as s, and we're going to set that equal to 0. And then within, we're going to set a condition as, we'll just say we're going to run this 20 times. So we're going to say as long as s is less than 20, we're going to keep looping this statement over and over and over. Now 20 times, we've got to increment that by 1, so by doing so we're just going to put s++, and that's going to increment it by 1 every time the loop goes through. And within that we're going to have a statement, and this statement is going to start off with us developing our hits increasing by 1 every time. And this isn't really something you'd want to hard code in there, but just for the demonstration purposes of the hits and what we're going to do with this continue statement, we're going to do it this way. And so now what we're going to do is every time we loop through, we're going to start at 0, we're going to go all the way up to 20 by 1, so it's going to be 20 consecutive loops. Our hits is going to increase by 1 every time that loop goes through. So as it starts at 0, the loop's going to go through and we hit 1 as our hit. Then the loop's going to go through again and hits is going to be qualified as 2, and so on and so forth down the line. So now with this hits accumulating, basically we want to tell ourselves, or we want to log, we'll say any hits over 3 or over, into, I don't know, a database, or maybe we get an email after somebody tries hitting our website a couple times. And so in doing so, we're going to put an if statement, and we're going to say if the hits is less than 3, let me give a little space there. If the hits is less than 3, we want to continue. And it probably doesn't make a lot of sense to why we did that, but basically we're saying if our hits, which the first loop through, our hits is going to be set to 1. So if 1 is less than 3, we're going to hit continue. And by hitting the continue statement there, that basically tells our program to skip the remaining code that we put down here. So it's going to say continue, it's going to shoot right back up to this loop, and it's going to execute the second looping function. So we're going to be at, s is going to be set to 2, our hits is going to move up to 2, and then we run into our if statement again, where it's going to be our hits, which should be 2, is if 2 is less than 3, continue again, so on and so forth. It's going to go to the second one, we're going to be at 3, 3, and then it's going to go 3 is less than 3. Well, 3 is not less than 3, so therefore it's going to allow us to move on to the next. I'm not going to use continue because that just messes you guys up. It's going to allow us to go on to the body of our statement here. Now in this case, we could write something like, this is where we want to send ourselves an email saying, hey, this particular person has already hit our website more than 3 times, here's their information, or something to that degree. In this case, for demonstration purposes only, I'm going to show you just the basic log. So we want to show how many hits they've hit, how many hits they've tried or attempted at our website. So we're going to put in our variable hits, and we're going to log that on the screen. So once our hits is 3 or greater, it's going to start logging it, so we can see how many hits it does. Now in this case, we put a limit on how many times we're going to show the hits, and that's 20 times. So it should go anywhere all the way from 3 to 20 within our function here. So go ahead and run the application. You'll see that as you click the run a little bit slow today. Aha! Alright, so we've got our hits. Again, it starts at 3, so it starts logging at 3. So right here, it says 3 is less than 3. Okay, I'm not going to continue and flip us back up to the top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to the body and bypass this continue at this point. And then it's going to log us. It's going to log hits and the hit count, basically, and proceeds forward. So that, with all that said, there's many different applications for this type of statement. You know, you can continue into emails, like I said, and different functions like that. So that's kind of the basics to the continue statement. Hopefully you guys are picking up little chunks, pieces here and there. As we move forward, these will be, you know, crucial because we'll use them in further programming, a little bit more of the advanced stuff. And just by knowing how each one has some different variances and what you can do with it, definitely helps you guys as you guys program your applications. So enough said. We'll catch you guys in the next tutorial. See you later.